Catfish. And I'll put myself in there as well. I forgot to put me, but I'm here now. Hello, good evening, welcome. It's Thursday night, so it's time for an evening with. It's the gang night, not an everyone night. So I am joined by a person you can't see him. I don't know why I'm pointing down there. With me this evening, because it's the special bad movies night. I requested that Paul turn up, so we have Paul from Team Inept, who's also Paul.
Hello.
He's here. Yeah, so assuming you've all done your homework and been and watched a bad movie that's good, or not a good movie that's bad, no, a movie that's so bad it's good. That was the requested homework, so I'm assuming you've all done it, so we can talk about that in a little while. As ever, Pascal was obviously here first, as you know, ages ago. Dad's about as well. Glad to hear you're feeling better, Mike. Stick with it and, keep everything inside that should be inside, but other than that, yeah. Who else was here? Quano Man's here. Dad, Pascal. AJ came in and saying hello. Hello. Gemma is here, obviously. And
Keeping an eye on you.
Glad to hear Dad's feeling better. Yeah. He's nearly back to normal, he says. Sprue and Glue, welcome. Obviously, we have Skullfish. Here.
Who? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
No, you did catch that. I'm not doing it again. I might do it later. But, everyone's saying hello to see everybody. Edward's here. D. And it's just jumped again. Look. Team Inept here. Look, he says pop because he's been doing that today apparently.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hopefully he's not mic'd up there, so it'll be okay.
It's actually down there rather than up there.
Well, depends how far the mic fit. No, we won't go. Stewpot's here. Circle Steve is also here. That's Stricken Pig. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
Shane is here. Sprue Glue Addict. Lots of sprue glues around. Sprues and stuff and things. Didn't know there was homework. I had a sick note. Yeah, we'll let you off. But I'm sure you must have seen the film at some point in the past. That's
You've probably seen one or two.
Clarky says, glad you're feeling better. Everyone's happy to see Dad because it's nice. He hasn't been around in the streams for a good few weeks actually now, isn't it? This year maybe.
It's ironic given how much he's been streaming while he's been away.
I think he's been doing quite a lot. Paul is very loud and Chris is quiet. That's pretty normal.
Yeah, actually, it is, isn't it?
I can't adapt Paul's volume. I can make myself louder by talking more or moving closer to the microphone so I can do the probing that Fox likes, but no, I won't get that much
do it again.
No. 3 weeks says that's how long he's been out of it. So yeah, most of the year. LD says the Sprue family is growing rapidly. Yes, indeed it is. Right, so Paul, you haven't been along for a while. You've been lurking quietly and not even watching. I bet.
I've been avoiding you. Yeah. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Yeah.
We all heard it. Everyone heard it. How you been? What you been doing? I know you've been painting lots of miniatures to try and beat George.
Yeah, I've been occupying myself with the occasional Games Workshop mini. Hang on, let me just make sure I'm zoomed right. Hang on. Focus,
Ooh.
damn it.
Lots of writing in the book. Did you write that yourself?
Yeah. Oh, focus, come on. Stupid camera. But yeah, this is the Chaos Dark Apostle blokey. And I figured because he was angry and he had a big stick and horns, he'd hold up under a Darth Maul paint job. And he does.
Pretty much, yep.
I'm still not totally happy with the ribbony seal things because I'm finding it really hard to get the sort of the color into the detail and not just smear everything everywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
I can't comment. I don't do that sort of stuff, so I don't know.
Yet there's still time. But yeah, I've basically just been rocking my way through lots of minis at the moment, which is quite nice.
Yeah,
I have a Primaris Psyker on the stand. My first ever metal mini.
I was going to say, is that the metal one?
Yeah, it primed up lovely.
Cool.
And it's surprised, given how light the handle is, how top heavy it is with that solid chunk of metal.
Yeah,
I shall carry on with him at some point, and have a couple of bases from Mortal Realms. So I was in Smith's.
yeah. I haven't painted any of the Mortal Realms stuff at all.
I'm trying, but the problem is, I kind of don't like Storm.
Nope. I
Where did I go?
click the wrong button and kicked you out, but I brought you back.
Yeah, as I was saying before, you so brutally kicked me out. I'm actually strangely not really a fan of Stormcasts.
No.
They don't quite, even though they have melee weapons, and we all know how much I love melee weapons, they don't really quite tick the box for me, sadly. But I think issue 5, where's the bit of, yes. Issue 5 is the first unique hero, which is going to be nice.
I don't know what that is. Oh, yeah,
what the bing bong noise or?
It made noises at me. It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw issue 4 in the shops today. Not today, yesterday,
Okay.
and thought about buying it because I haven't got that paint. But then I thought that's just an expensive way of getting paint.
Yeah, because I'm not a great fan of the chain rasps and stuff, even though I have 30 odd of them to paint. But I'm definitely going to get, as long as I can find it, issue 5, because I quite like the uniques, the heroes, because you can have a bit more fun with those.
Yeah, no,
and she's got a big, cool looking stuff.
I've got 1 and 2, didn't I? I didn't get any more than that because 3 was boring for me, and 4.
Yeah, well, I got 3
but
because A, it was in front of me, and B, I wanted the doggy. I can't remember what they're called though. The Griffhound. Although I now can't see the Griffhound on my stuff I've recently primed pile. Where is it? Oh no, he's over here.
Dad said he had flu twice, according to Dr. Sprue. But I don't know who Dr. Sprue is because I don't know. I think he means according to the doctor, and he's talking to Sprue. But,
oh yeah, maybe he forgot a comma.
Yeah, it's Sprue does say Dr. Sprue's got a ring to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Dave's in at Brooklyn Model. Good evening, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Stewpot's asking Gemma something, but I'm not going to ask because I'll get in trouble. Sprue was the first. Sprue 0, yeah, that's about right. Quantum Man accidentally did a selfie type video and watched it. Not sure it was a bad movie, but it was horrendous. Yeah, probably. Death is where it's at, mate. I'm not sure.
Dave's not suggesting.
Oh, because you didn't like the chain rasp things.
I know he likes Nagash or whoever it is, and all them geezers.
Jamie does ask, has anyone seen the new ICM 135th Chernobyl sets? I did. I saw it on eModel's website or mail shot or something, sent it out. That looked quite interesting, but yeah, I don't think I'll bother.
I wonder what it'd look like in orange digital camera.
Hey, who, what?
I wonder what the Chernobyl set would look like in orange digital camera.
Oh, was it?
I think we should find out.
Oh, Jamie says E-Models has the first diorama set. The other kits will be coming out at different times of the year. Okay.
I think we should have a word with Pete, mate, and get your next E-Models build sorted out.
Yeah, I do need to come up with my next E-Models build. So if anyone's got any ideas, let me know. Either drop them in the chat or email me directly. But yeah.
I've just given you the idea. It's the best.
Yeah,
idea.
I know, but I don't like that idea. So I'll ask the public. They're better than you. They know more things.
I'll go there. Fine.
Well, I know what you want me to paint. It's probably my mat. You want everyone should paint a mat, but
What do you mean, like I do?
yeah, no.
See if there's any paint on there still. No. Damn.
So, as ever, you should already know by now, but you can join the Facebook group, where you can pick pictures of your builds and things. I do every Thursday. Go and have a look through it and show them all live on the telly. Well, not necessarily the telly. It might be on a phone. It's on wherever I happen to be being broadcast. So I might be on someone's telly. You never know. But go and join that and get stuff in there. Continuing down the links, I have my merchandise site where you can go and buy your own
Mankini.
Gross Models stuff. No Mankinis in there. No.
Because Fox has bought them.
Because we couldn't source them. So no, didn't. But that's there. My website at grossmodels.uk. I've got a button for that as well. Look. Where I occasionally post sort of things that don't really fit on Facebook and things, bigger, more blog post things and stuff like that. Sometimes I do forget to do it, so it does always happen. If you do want to email me, you can get me at chris@grossmodels.uk because, you know, I get email addresses with the website, so I might as well use them. And the other link I have here is my Patreon page. I have some lovely people who support me on Patreon. I'll put the list of them in the chat now. They're all the people that, you know, are great and support me. If you want to join their number, you can. You can just pop along to that site and sign in for a small donation per month. You can help keep me on the air. It's, you know, yeah. Or, you know, you can tell me not to be on the air anymore and stuff. It looks like it's only posted a little bit of it. I'll post it again later. Make sure it works up. I think it's only done 2 out of the 3 things that should be there, but sometimes it gets confused. So yeah. Other than that, so keep posting in the group. If you're in the Boom Hut already, then you get sort of free entry to the group. You don't have to go through the sign up procedure and stuff. So you can just click on that and join in. And we'll have a look at that later. Now, did you all do your homework? Is the real question. Did you all watch a bad film that's good, or that sort of thing? Paul's the expert on bad films, so I'm sure he knows several that he's watched. So,
in fairness, you watched Pixels and thought it wasn't bad, so I think you know quite a bit about bad films.
I thought that wasn't bad. That was all right. It wasn't a great film, but it was fun.
Proving my point.
It was a fun film. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, well, the question is, where should we start? How should we do this?
I don't know. Just something to talk about, really. So,
well, I will start with one of my favourites then, the top quality Predator 2.
Predator 2.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have said that was a bad film.
Oh, it is.
What? No, it's
really
right.
is garb. This is my point.
Nothing wrong
You
with
are
Predator.
you are more of an expert on bad films than you think you are. You watched The Da Vinci Code earlier in the week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I watched that. I thought that was all right.
There we go.
I watched the other one as well, that Angels and Demons, the second one that's sort
Angles
of
and
the first
Damon
one,
Hill.
isn't
That one. Yeah.
it? And then I've got the other one to watch as well. What have you put in the group? I just had a notification that you've posted things in the group.
Yeah, I just put some pictures up so you can share pictures. Because I'm nice like that.
Of your stuff. That's okay then. I thought I was getting.
But yeah, going back to the quality or lack of Predator 2, it's got Gary Busey in it, and that's always a sign of pain.
Sort of straight to DVD, sort of. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. I mean, it came out a couple of years after Predator. And obviously, it's got Danny Glover in it, which is brilliant. But he also does, right near the start, he does that thing that kids do when they pretend they're being a police officer, where they pretend they're holding a gun and they jump out from behind something, and it's glorious and it's cheesy and it's terrible, and I love it. In a funny way, I kind of prefer it to the original Predator.
No, not sure. I thought you were going to be talking about the one that you bought, the Iron Man rip-off thing.
Yeah, I was building up to that, the film that was so bad that I had to stop watching it. Yeah, Iron Hero.
Iron Hero, that was it. I couldn't remember what it was called.
I've actually blocked a lot of what I've seen of it out of my mind because it's that bad. And it was someone in a plastic Iron Man suit pretending to be RoboCop not good.
Screwglue says the Human Centipede, but that's bad for whole other reasons, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, the Human Centipede doesn't fall under so bad it's good.
No, that's just
Well, I mean, it says more about Screwglue than.
Screwglue's watched the 1950s The Blob. Yeah, that was. But I don't know. Back in the 50s, that was all right. But yeah.
Yeah, but then at the same time, in the 50s, you've got The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Pascal started watching. Unfortunately, I was just going to read it, but Speed's just joined us, so there we go.
So Speed can read it.
Speed, what's the name of this film that Pascal started watching?
The name of the film that Pascal started watching?
Yeah, I've got it on the thing at the
moment. Good God.
Imagine if you just read it off like nothing.
I've lost it there. It's Japanese.
Yeah, the main character is very overpowered, apparently. Makes it funny.
I thought that as well. I thought that. Ask him what it translates into. I have no idea.
Into English, ideally. I can probably translate from French, but I don't want to.
They didn't know about the movie Homework, but watch the TV Hulk movie, Hulk versus Thor.
That one. Brilliant. That's the old.
If that's the Lou Ferrigno one, then
it's the Lou Ferrigno one, yeah. And the Thor with his furry coat, and it's fantastic.
Oh dear,
it's proper cheese. But no, I've got to say, I did hear something about Predator 2, and Predator 2 is good. Sorry, Paul, it's good.
It's good, but it's terrible.
It's terribly good, but it's good.
Yeah.
The biggest problem I had with that film is I always felt like the bit at the end where he gives him the flintlock pistol should have kind of had some relevance to maybe. I expected him to do something like linking to the first film, maybe.
Yeah. Give him an old blue razor or something.
Yeah. But other than like, oh wow, these guys have been around a while. They've been like sort of chasing pirates and stuff. Other than that, which is a bit unfair, really, isn't it? I mean, Predators were like red dot laser shooty things in camouflage, chasing pirates who are drunk on rum and all they've got is cutlasses and single shot.
Yeah, they did seem to drift away a bit. I remember watching Alien versus Predator, and that wasn't great.
I remember watching that. I only ever watched it once, and my lasting impression of that was it was dark, as in so dark you couldn't see.
As in you couldn't actually see what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah. As in not dark plot. As in it was so dark you couldn't actually see the screen. It could have been anything. You could have been watching any film in the dark with screams and squelchy noises.
Raging Base is here, all right, dudes. Pascal does translate for us. He says I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defence. It's a descriptive title. It tells you exactly what you need to know.
Yeah, fantastic title.
Yeah. There's no mistaking what's going on with that, I guess.
No.
Mm.
You should have tried that in D&D, Chris.
Yeah, just yeah.
instead of just
No.
wearing a dressing gown.
I mean, I've watched some truly terrible films, but then they were kind of intentionally terrible, like Anaconda and Sharktopus and that kind of thing. But
Yeah,
they were
that
kind
sort of stuff never. It doesn't do it for. It's too self-aware. It's like,
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah,
I
I mean,
watched
they-
Anaconda.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were deliberately cheesy, over the top. But sometimes it works quite well. The Jason in Space one, Jason X, I think it's called.
No idea.
The Friday the 13th. Is it Friday the 13th or is it Halloween? It's Friday the 13th, isn't
are
it?
you thinking of Apollo 13?
No.
Similar.
No, it's the Friday the 13th. As far as I know, they did something like 8 or 9 of these films. And in fact, no, I'll bet it's 10 because it is called Jason X, and I bet the X is for 10. I might be wrong, but a funny feeling it is. Jason X, look it up. It's really, really good, right? And it starts out with this like Camp Crystal Lake kind of scene, this really cheesy setup, which turns out to be this is in the future, and it turns out to be a lure to capture Jason and put him in cryogenic suspension because they can't kill him. They've discovered by this point they can't actually kill him. So they're going to capture him, put him in cryogenic suspension and freeze him forever. And then Earth becomes this wasteland. And then many years later, this spaceship's cruising around the wasteland of Earth, picking up fascinating things. And it picks up this cryogenic chamber. And this woman who happens to have also been cryogenically frozen, because after they froze him in this chamber, he stabbed her with his super duper machete through the chamber. So as he froze, she froze. And they end up in space. And she unfreezes, but not in time to tell them don't unfreeze him because he's some scary, unkillable super monster dude. And there's one particular bit of that film that I really liked, where this commander, like sort of leader of the security on this spaceship, he ends up getting stabbed. And I think he's got his back against this door and he's been stabbed something like 2 or 3 times through it. And he's stood there sort of like hanging off these things that are skewering him. He's like, oh, it's going to take more than that to kill an old dog like me. And then he stabs something else through him. And he's like, yep, that ought to do it.
Yeah.
Ranking Basis says Jason in Space in Friday the 13th 10X.
Yeah, it is. It's a Jason X, yes. It's a brilliant film. It's great. As in brilliantly bad. But yeah, it's good. It's so good it's bad. So bad it's
Stewpot
good.
says the best must be Snakes on a Plane. I've seen it, but
I don't know. It's quite.
Can you have a film that's so bad it's good that's got Samuel L. Jackson in it? Because that just automatically makes it good regardless.
Well, apparently, I mean, you read all these things online and you never know for sure what's right and what's not. But apparently, his manager got the script for Snakes on a Plane. And he called him up and he said, I've had this studio sort of badgering me. They want you to be in this film and what have you. And he's telling me about it. He says, right, well, it's called Snakes on a Plane. And he's like, I'll do it. And he's like, well, I haven't even told you what it is yet. It's like, no, I don't care. I'll do it. So apparently he heard the title and said, I'll do it. I'm not entirely sure I believe, but, it is quite.
No, I think he's probably got a bit more sort of quality judgment than that. But I suspect he saw it and decided it'd be a good laugh. So
yeah, probably. If it had been Michael Caine, I could have believed it because he actually said in an interview once, somebody said, "What's the secret to your success?" And he's like, "Just agree to everything. Just star in everything."
if you do everything, you'll get some decent films out of it.
And that was his thinking. He was like, if you say yes to every role that's offered to you, you will eventually get something that's decent.
You'll eventually get to be Alfred.
Lance is here. He says Tremors, ridiculous but amazing. You're going to be in trouble with my wife. She likes the Tremors films, even the later ones that they just kept making them for no apparent reason.
The first Tremors film is magnificent. I love it.
Jamie says in Joe's case it'd be Spider-Man. She'll be in trouble for that. I didn't say anything. It's not my fault.
I've seen a little bit of. I think it was Tremors 3.
I think there's like 7 of them now or something. There's
at least 5.
I vaguely seem to remember seeing. I think it was Tremors 3, and it was okay in a sort of silly horror movie kind of way. But
yeah, the first one, yes, it is so bad it's good, but it's glorious. Partly because it's got Egg Shen from Big Trouble in Little China in it, which I'm not adding to this list because Big Trouble in Little China is just good, straight up.
it is, but again, that was played with deliberate cheese, wasn't it? You know, Kurt Russell's character was deliberately over the top cheesy and everything.
Yeah,
it is good.
I'm sufficiently a fan of Big Trouble in Little China that on the wall above my desk is a painting of Jack Burton.
Yeah. You leave Jack Burton alone.
Oh, that's so good. I love that film.
It is a really cool film. It's a very cool film.
Gemma says the first Tremors is good and was the best one. Yes, I think they got
I agree
gradually worse.
I didn't have to watch that. I know I've seen a little bit of either 2 or 3, but I've not seen it. So.
Yeah, definitely watch the first one if you haven't. I think I was actually with you when you bought Gemma the box set of Tremors, Chris.
I got
There's
each
a box
individual
set?
film on DVD or Blu-ray or something, but we can't find like 2 of them. I think somewhere along the line they've been eaten by DVD players or something. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
To them, but...
Well, I definitely remember you buying certainly at least one Tremors film when we were browsing in
I don't think
HM.
that actually works though with DVD players.
Ray's in from Malta. Hi, Ray.
Hi, Ray.
All right.
Everyone's talking about arachnophobia now. They know Gemma's in the room, but yeah, sure, watch that.
I've never seen that. I just couldn't be bothered.
It's deliberately bad and funny.
Yeah.
It's okay, but it's a little bit disappointing. But I think I watched it expecting something more like Eight-Legged Freaks, which is really cool. Expecting giant spiders and stuff, and it's not. It's little tiny spiders. They're just really, really poisonous, and lots of them. And I suppose if you're scared of spiders, I can understand. I can completely get the. It would be scary in that sense. But I saw it at the cinema that many years ago, and I was actually quite disappointed. Gotta say.
Cynical Steve's got a list of them. He's got Deep Blue Sea, Deep Star 6, Ghost of Mars, Doom, Buckaroo Banzai, Event Horizon. There's so many to choose from. Now, I've seen Deep Blue Sea. Deep Star 6 sounds familiar, but I can't place it. I don't know Ghost of Mars. I've seen Doom, I've seen Buckaroo Banzai, and I've seen Event Horizon. So most of those I've actually seen. And yeah, Deep Blue Sea was the one that, again, it was Samuel L. Jackson, wasn't it? But he was only in it for like 10 minutes, and he got eaten.
Yeah, he got his arm chopped off by the shark, didn't he? As he stood by
entirely eaten by the shark or something.
And eats him, or eats his arm or something. It's the one with, is it Ice-T or Ice Cube or one of the Ices who was a chef?
It was.
I don't know.
I'm not sure which one, you know.
Lord says Biggles Adventures in Time. That's a great bad movie. Biggles flying an 80s military helicopter with a synth rock soundtrack. I vaguely remember that.
That's
it's
a cool
about
film.
London Bridge or Tower Bridge in it or something.
Yeah, it's skipping back and forward in time from like World War II to modern day, but it's a cool film because it's got it has got the name has just come out of my head. The woman out of Hello Hello.
Biggles.
Vicky Michelle.
No, not Vicky Michelle. The other one, the little dark, gorgeous one. What's her name?
Oh, whoever it was who played Granny.
No, that one.
Has anyone mentioned Dark Star yet? I don't know.
Francesca Gonshaw. Oh, gorgeous.
But yeah, going back briefly to whoever it was who mentioned Doom, basically you can say any video game film. And it's garbage.
You can't say
It's
that.
the one with Rick in it, isn't it?
Street Fighter 2. But yeah, the best thing about Doom is that end bit where it goes first person.
Yeah, that was quite bad.
What was that all about? Street Fighter 2 is terrible.
Oh, I love
Absolutely terrible. So terribly bad. And
Yeah,
Raul Julia was a great actor.
he
But
was.
it was just so wrong for
He
Bison.
was. The thing is, he was good in the film. You know, he was that good an actor that
He was,
even
but
in
it
that he
was
was.
kind of like it got the wrong sort of look and physique for Bison, hadn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, a mate of mine was when we lived on the coast. We spent 2 years on the coast working there, and a mate of mine was really, well, still is, as far as I know, heavily into gaming and stuff. And he lived on Street Fighter 2. His goal, in fact, that entire season, he spent every spare minute at the arcade playing Street Fighter 2. And his goal was to beat it with every single character in a perfect score, start to finish, which he did. Which I guess is some kind of achievement, but
Yeah.
just
Steve says The Golden Child.
No, that's
all
just
right.
good.
It's just what a typical Eddie Murphy film, wasn't it? It wasn't.
Yeah. I've not seen that in years, but I don't remember that being that bad actually.
It's got Charles Dance in it as well.
Super Mario Brothers, says Lance, going on the video game.
Good shout, mate. I love that. Again,
I've not seen that one. That's Bob Hoskins, isn't it?
Bob Hoskins,
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
LD says Sharknado. Everyone's saying about Sharknado. I don't think I've ever watched a Sharknado film. There's several of them, but
yeah,
no,
I've
not seen
never bothered.
that.
Screwglue doesn't like Assassin's Creed. It potentially should have been really good, but it wasn't.
Assassin's Creed the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Fairly recent, last year, a couple of years ago.
Right, I didn't know that.
Michael Fassbender, isn't it?
Yes. I was trying to think of his name, but yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. My ex and my lad played that game a lot. In fact, I remember doing a YouTube video, and it was on the reassembly of a BMW K1100 motorbike that I had, and it was a reassembly of the oil and water pump. And I was sat in the room, and I got a little table, and I was sat reassembling it on the table and talking, completely oblivious to the fact that she was sat playing Assassin's Creed in the background. And when I went to edit the video, I had to cut all the sound completely because it was just expletive after expletive of her stabbing people and falling off buildings and getting killed and recovering and doing it all over again. And
nice.
I couldn't actually cut out enough and still leave enough speaking in to explain what I did. So I ended up having to cut all the audio out of it.
Steve says Piranha 3D. I've got. Is there 2 or 3 of them?
3 double D.
We got all them. Again, when I got 3D TV, that was a series of films that we just had to get and watch. I thought they were just funny.
That one's got David Hasselhoff, hasn't it? Piranha 3 double D. It's got David Hasselhoff, hasn't it?
I think he was in one of them. Yeah, at least one of them. Yeah.
I'm sure it's that one.
Yeah, he's in most bad films these days, I think.
Lance says Jaws: The Revenge was one of my favourite films. It's so bad it veers close to genius. The shark roars at one point. I haven't watched it. Was that like
that does sound
that 4 or something? It was a Jaws film, but it was.
Is that the one with Michael Caine? There's one with Michael.
I have no idea. Is it like the 4th film or 5th or was it the second one?
No, that was Jaws 2, wasn't it?
I don't know. It was Jaws was just Jaws, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling it's got Michael Caine in it, and it's I have seen it, but years and years ago, and I can't remember it at all.
Lance says it stars Michael Caine.
Yeah,
really?
I do remember it was apparently very, very bad.
But yeah, by process of elimination, based on what we were saying earlier, one of those films is going to have Michael Caine in it, isn't it?
Lance says the family moved to the Bahamas and the shark follows them. Was it the second one then, or was it?
No, it can't be the second one, can it? Because the second one's got Roy Scheider. The second one's with the electric cable, where it pulls the electric cable up out of the water and the shark bites onto the electric cable.
Quanoman's worried that you're turning into a Borg, Spid, because you got the eyepiece thing.
Resistance is futile.
If resistance.
It was the
is
fourth
broken,
film,
then-
says Lance. Thank you very much. Because 3 was just 3D, wasn't it? That was Jaws 3 3D.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Yeah. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that one.
Beyond Hope says a bad movie, Superman 4. They ruined the franchise with that
Oh.
one movie. I don't know about the
Oh, is
franchise,
that
but
one-
yeah.
Is that the one with Nuclear Man?
Yes.
That was hilariously bad. That was so bad. There's a
Dennis
video
Quaid is
on-
in Jaws 3, which was in 3D, says Lance. Yeah.
There's a video on YouTube where somebody picks apart the whole plot of Superman 4, and they've got a little montage of Gene Hackman failing miserably to say nuclear. Because it says nuclear, and it's just like a montage of Gene Hackman and nuclear.
Oh, that was like what was it? Old Benedict Cumberbatch. He can't say penguin. He was narrating a nature film about penguins, and he just couldn't say it. It was penguins and pegwings. It was quite interesting.
Talking of mispronunciations, I was watching Ancient Aliens this evening, as I do, and you know, it is one of the funniest things on TV. It's comedy gold, magnified by some guy who referred to the agricultural implement, the scythe, as a scyther.
Fabulous. Is it? Can I just ask, Ancient Aliens, as opposed to what differentiates them from modern ones?
They're older.
Are we actually talking like old aliens, like grandma and granddad alien, or just
Yeah,
aliens from
it's basically like an episode of Mork and Mindy, but from like when Dad was a kid rather than when the rest of us were.
Oh, Mork and Mindy. Now there was a series.
Nanu.
Admire the subtle dig at the old man there as well.
He had a hand thing, didn't he? Mork. It wasn't the Vulcan thing, but what did he do with it?
Honestly, I can't remember.
He had something.
Yeah, he did do something with his hand, didn't he? Nanu.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
He made it go
It was
numb
like waving or
like
something, or I can't remember.
Yeah, he did have a hand move.
There was definitely something.
I sort of remember talking. I'm sure I talked about it before, but when I was a kid, I had a Mork egg with a little Mork action figure in, and I lost that. I lost it for ages and ages. It then got found when my dad dug the garden over, and it got all washed off and cleaned off and everything. It was a white egg, and you popped the front off. It had a little window in it, but the window was open, so it got full of dirt. But you could pop the front off, and you got a little Mork figure about the size of a Star Wars figure in his red suit with the silver V on the front.
Yep.
That sat inside this egg, and it was a little egg spaceship. And it got found when my dad dug the garden over and got cleaned up and everything. And then it got lost somewhere in time as I grew up, sadly. But that was a cool little thing. Mork for Mork.
Dad seems to have just woken up. He says, "Hey, what? Have you been asleep? Have you been napping?"
Hello.
Lance says, "Mork first appeared in an episode of Happy Days, indeed."
Yeah.
Oh,
And it looks like LD has
yeah.
distilled Ancient Aliens down into a single perfect sentence there.
what do you
Did
say?
these lost tribes fish from the ocean, or did aliens come down and grow the fish in test tubes? And Ancient Alien says aliens did it. But yes, if you've never watched Ancient Aliens, part of me wants to say don't,
No,
but the rest
I'd
of me
rather
says
not.
do it.
It's not series where everybody keeps using that guy with the wild hair. The I'm not
Yes.
saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
That's
Is
the
it-
guy.
is it that?
Yeah, it's that one.
Right,
Yeah,
okay. Is he the presenter then, or something? Or
he's basically the main person who talks garbage on it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that little meme a lot all over the internet. But yeah, it does look quite an authority on
Yes.
such things.
I'd like to know how you become an Ancient Alien expert, because it
You
seems
just
like it's
tell
quite
people
easy.
you are.
Yeah,
There's no
well,
exams or anything, I shouldn't think.
yeah, I mean, what qualifications do you take? exactly. It's an odd one, that.
Ross has just got in from work. Apparently, just got in from work. So, welcome, Ross.
Hello.
Right, shall we nip across to the gross group and see what delights
Yes.
people have been posting up this week?
Do your Tony Hart thing. Let's take a look in the gallery.
Let's have a look. I'll track us all over to the side.
Tony Farr.
I shall grab the window so I can see it. And we'll have a look at the photos. Now, I don't remember what we did before because it was last week. I don't remember stuff. What did we look at? Anyone remember? Did anyone look at anything?
You did look at stuff. I can't remember exactly what.
Did we do that one? What was the date last week? That's the first question to ask. Last week was in fact the 30th. So 2nd of February is one that we haven't seen. So let's go back further than that.
Well, we can do anything in February.
1st of February? No. Go back further than that. I thought we'd seen that. We must have seen the 31st. That would have been after as well. Let's go back even further. Back into the mists of time.
Back in time.
Let's start there. That was the 30th. There we go. This is David and some
Goliath.
thingy Warhammer things.
Stormcast.
Okay.
Something like that. Lee's in on Facebook saying Chris and technology. I'm good at technology and stuff. Why are you watching on Facebook though? Get over to YouTube. All the cool kids are on YouTube. Nobody watches on Facebook. You should come and join us in the real thing. So yes, you can tell us what these are then while you're here, Lee. They're some sort of Space Marine things, aren't they?
I told you what they were. You're obviously not listening to me.
I wasn't listening to you. I was talking.
Yeah, fine.
I'm on a little bit small screen, but they look a bit sort of Spartacus-y to me.
Notice they're all in slightly different poses. Is it just one dude in animation?
It should be. That'd be awesome.
He's just putting his hammer down slowly. So
Now I want to watch the original Avengers. Not the Diana Rigg, the one with.
Hammer down.
Yes, exactly.
that was the big beetle thing. I remember that. I remember seeing something about that.
Alarielle the Everqueen. I know that.
Okay.
Dave's got that. Don't think he's done it yet.
This is the sort of cannon, scorpion type cannon thing.
The twangy cannon of
Doom. Yeah. I do like it. It's metallic. And Paul Desmato's latest acquisition, he says. The Astrometarum Valkyrie. It's quite green.
I wonder what they look like in orange digital camera.
Well, then you can do one.
I might even paint one.
The question we're all dying to know is, will you ever make anything in orange and digital camo again?
Shiny 4K, 2K clear coat on a Ford from Ray.
Oh, I think you should do a shiny 2K clear coat on the Baneblade.
There you go. There's Baneblade. There's my digital camo before I touched it. Made it look a little bit nicer.
That actually looks pretty good.
I mean, as digital camo, it looks pretty good. The colour scheme is horrendous.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's great.
Yeah.
On that particular alien planet that it belongs to, once it blends in, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't see it. Exactly right. Yep.
Oh, you have to do a diorama now, Chris.
It's a ballista, says Ross. Indeed, yes. I
It's a
couldn't think of the name
Gamorrean
for it.
god.
Lee, you've got enough,
this
you've
is,
got enough room in the shop,
not a ballista, this is an
window
alt thing.
cabinet for it all, haven't you?
I don't know. I know nothing.
It's a Gamorrean god.
I do
that
like the
another-
detail painting on this, though. It's quite nice.
Is that another Stormcast of some kind?
I don't know.
Phil Lewis.
I think
says
it's someone
that
doing like
digital
city planning or
camo
something. They've got
actually-
their sextant out to make sure all the street lights are in the right lines and things.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely agree with Phil Lewis there that the digi
Fox's
camo.
legs.
Yes, those are Fox's actual legs.
Fox's actual live legs. Yep.
Yeah, it's looking good there.
They're with his basically rollers bell bottoms on.
We have some Lego from my family.
What, from the
Harry
TV?
Potter.
I've been seeing
Harry
some
Potter's box out, I think.
today, a Quidditch match, I believe.
There is more to come. Yes, indeed. They seem to have every couple of days. They seem to pick up a new kit to build. Phil says that digital camo actually hurts my eyes. You haven't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, it hurts my soul.
It's your fault. You don't get to complain.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault.
It is your fault.
I just called your bluff.
I don't bluff.
You didn't think George and I would be like, yeah, do it then.
I don't do bluffing. This is more orc stuff. There's a Millennium Falcon parts. This is the one that Fox is going to be building as well, isn't it? It's the perfect.
No, it's not the cockpit.
I'm quite looking forward to that one.
It's huge, but not as huge as the D'Agostini one.
Yeah.
I've heard it's a very good kit. I understand.
This is Quanoman's sister built a person.
Wow!
Quite
Stunning
small,
detail.
Yeah.
Good work on the shadows and highlights.
What you don't want to see is the gunk wash.
Adam, I saw the thing of this. It's
Triangle.
A D4 that's painted up as a sort of rogue or something. Very strange, but
Very strange, but I like it.
triangle, as you say.
Is it a particular thing, or is it just a triangular?
Oh, that's nice.
That is
I like
nice.
that.
It's a bit too shiny, but I know it's meant to be shiny, but I don't really like shiny.
I know
That's
very
nice.
little about F1 cars, but I like that one.
It almost gets away with being a photo of a real car if it wasn't
Yeah.
for the bits in the background. So, yeah,
That's
I like
too good for the group, I think.
that. Eric's been doing some nice weathering on some train things as well.
Oh, that's right up my. I was gonna say right up my street, but it's right up my
No,
track.
I think it's rusting.
I love seeing the weathered sort of railway stuff. It's
Yeah.
really nice. You see loads of really nice, clean railway stuff. It's nice to see the sort of.
Yeah, I've got to get back to the fishing village at some point soon. It's sat idle for a very long time.
I'd love to have a spare room just to set up a massive railway thing.
And I see Beyond Hope there is proving without doubt that I knew nothing about F1 because he said it's the 1991 IndyCar winning Ford, not F1.
I have no idea.
There we go. I
I
didn't
remember
even
that.
know he'd won IndyCar.
F1, yes.
This Frankie's been doing his shuttle.
And Gemma, I went halves on that Baneblade because Chris chose those colours.
You chose to go halves on that Baneblade, so you have to take some of the blame on the lovely colours he chose. Yeah. It's all Paul's fault.
I
We know it's all
personally,
Paul's
Chris,
fault,
I
it's
think to make up to Gemma for doing such a horrible colour scheme on the Baneblade, you should buy her the Harry Potter Hogwarts Castle.
Someone totally photobombed the entirety of Hogwarts. Yes, that's my youngest in the background there.
And your fridge.
Responsible for buying the Lego.
That is cool. I like the Quidditch thing. That's cool.
I noticed an E-model sticker in the back of that previous shot as well.
Yeah, through the window. Yeah, Gemma's got all the model making stickers there. I don't think it. There you go. You see Foxy's and Ted's up there.
Awesome.
There's Dad's Scaly models.
Is there a Team Inept one?
There is.
Hey, good.
Is that it there? Do you think that might be it?
If it's on upside down and you can't quite tell what it is, it probably
Yeah,
is.
it might well be. Yeah. Yes. So they've been building Lego. It's Harry Potter. You're
Very
a wizard, Harry.
And you're a hairy wizard. Oh,
Steve's alien thing that broke in the post. I think he was saying about it, but
What's
again,
it?
for some reason it's not coming up with the comments. But he bought a cheap 3D printed something from Alien, and it broke.
Oh, no.
But he's going to fix it, so it's all good.
He's going to make it. better than it was.
This is LD with his back. He's been away for a little while. He's back
Nathan
now with an
Bundy.
inner frame of stuff.
I take it that's a Gunpla in a frame thing.
Yep.
And Dave,
Dave's Heldrake.
he's been doing some flying something.
Yeah, that's the Chaos Heldrake.
Is it? It's some sort of mechanical dragon.
Yeah, it's down in the bottom left corner of the Space Marine side of our local shop. I know exactly where it is.
Yeah, it's a local war hamster.
Yes.
Very good.
Lee'll be very proud of me if he's still watching for recognizing knowing where his stock is.
Yeah, looking good,
It's
Dave.
not very far away from Magnus.
Shrubbery. He's got a big cannon in his mouth. That must make chewing things painful.
Yeah.
That is looking rather nice.
Glory.
The grippy bit.
That looked green, and it looks sort of blue. The wings and things, but this bit looks green. Must be strange camera angle.
That's probably just white balance thing. Must be.
Yeah.
Or it could be Sons of Horus green, maybe.
Oh look, there's something Paul's been working on. His book's on fire.
Yeah. That was the much less anticipated song by Thingy, Kings of Leon.
And that's the end. There we have it. Thank you all for joining us on the browse through the week, your week in review of the Gross Group. Yeah. It's Betty from Alien Resurrection, says Steve. Yeah, I know you'd said what it was, but I couldn't remember.
I have stuck a few more bits of the 1/32th scale FW190 from E-models together, but not enough to warrant pictures. So hopefully I shall get a few more bits and start getting some paint on that show.
Yeah, so that's that. Any more films or anything? Anything else?
What other fun horrendous film do I? There's always stuff like The Room.
The Room.
Tommy Wiseau's finest hour.
I have read about that, but I haven't seen it. I don't know if I could bring myself to watch it because I've heard it's so very bad.
Oh, it is. It really is.
I saw The Cube. I quite liked
No,
it.
that was the Philip
quite a
Schofield.
clever idea, Cube, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cheap film, but
Yeah, 3 people in a little box room.
Cube.
It's great.
the sequel was rubbish, and the third film, which was a prequel, was rubbish. But the original Cube was good. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I've seen the sequel. I'd heard of it, certainly. I didn't know there was a third one, but
Yeah, I know I haven't.
I don't know if I have. But yeah, the Cube, I thought it was quite a good idea. It was a great idea for a low budget sort of tension, horror, shocky kind of thing.
Spooky says it was the blame blade, because you're arguing about who gets take the blame on the colours.
Well, given that George isn't here to defend himself, can we blame him?
You can blame George, yeah. Well, that's why it's got pink in it.
Yeah, true.
You know.
A little homage.
Jamie has a modelling question, just for
Really?
occasionally we do things. Has anyone painted World War II US Marines? If so, what colours should their camouflage in their helmet be?
They should be World War II US Marine standard issue camouflage helmet.
I believe they just.
I'm sure the helmet would be the same colour as the armour, wouldn't it? It'd be.
I'm not.
I've got no idea.
On military armour and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that US Marines are just green, wasn't it?
Sort of greeny, browny, grey sort of things. And, yeah.
Oh, where's Vincent when you need him?
Quite Man just watched He-Man She-Ra movie from the 80s. She-Ra wasn't it?
Oh,
She-Ra?
That's just brought back.
No, the He-Man movie with Dolph Lundgren. It was Teela that was in it.
Yeah,
that was the
Chelsea Field.
80s. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they ever did a She-Ra one, did they?
They may have
Might have
done
been in it.
an animated one.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Possibly.
Screwdriver
I think
says
the-
it should be Dunkel Gelb Orange. Yeah.
The one with Dolph Lundgren, it was Tila that was
Yeah.
that was a bad film as well.
And they had to invent Gwildor because they didn't have the technology to make Orko.
Yes, yeah.
And Frank Langella just so
They'll
much
remake
ham.
it.
So good.
It was terribly.
See, I now need to watch that film.
Yeah, it was.
LD's C1 Metalizer is going to last forever. I use it loads. We're almost 2 years since you
so
first cracked it
bad.
open. Have you tried sneezing while you got it open? Because then that will make it go quite quickly.
It was so bad that it made Beastmaster look like a well thought out and well realized action movie.
Yeah,
It didn't have Battle Cat in it at all, did it?
No.
No.
Well, they wouldn't have had the effects or anything. They'd have had to paint a tiger green and orange, and
Yeah.
there'd have probably been laws against that kind of thing, I suspect.
It's just
Eric
a shame
says the
one-
new
like,
Wonder
you know,
Woman 1984 looks sweet. Yeah, I like the Wonder Woman film, and obviously
yeah.
this
The
is
first
sequel,
one was
so-
really good.
Yeah. What's the new one then that they're making? Is
Yeah.
that all? Yeah. Yeah, the first one was really good. It was a shame because, the whole. It's a shame they rushed the whole thing because the Avengers series was great. It was built up really, really well. It was a brilliant series of movies. And obviously DC decided that they needed to really rush everything through to get the to try and get as many.
I don't know
characters
that
in.
rushed is the right word. It
It's
just
a
doesn't
bit-
seem to have the same level of
No, but if you look at
commitment or care
Wonder Woman, the standalone Wonder Woman's good. Man of Steel wasn't bad. The Batman v Superman thing was frankly all a bit pants. And then you got like Aquaman standalone wasn't too bad. But then they threw sort of Flash and Aquaman and Cyborg into the whole Justice League thing.
yeah.
It's all just very hurried.
I do like the DC TV series, the Arrow verse, the Arrow.
Yes, yeah.
and all that. They work really well, and the Flash works really well. And
Yeah.
it annoyed me when they said, "Oh, we're going to make a film, but we're not going to use those actors that have been doing it for years."
Yeah, I think it would have been better if they'd have actually used Flash from the
Yep.
TV show.
Yeah, quite.
That was a shame.
I don't know. I
Especially
don't know if
because
it's.
in the film they made him out to be like much more geeky and I don't know. The character just wasn't as good as the
Yeah, it was
TV.
just, I think they just wanted two completely separate continuities, and it probably wasn't the best idea.
Well, Marvel sort of managed to link it all together, although they did sort of drift away with that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it is now not really sort of part of the Marvel Universe or something.
Yeah,
Not watched any of those though, so I don't know. But
It's sort of one-sided, isn't it? They refer to the films, but the film never refers to the series, or
no,
rather,
so yeah.
I suppose that with the series they can do that because it's a continuing thing. It rolls along, so they can when they're going to do something that refers back to events in the film, they can link it, can't they? Whereas
Glue says Starship Troopers. This isn't a bad film that's good. That was a good film. I don't know what.
it was a bad film that was good, but it was deliberately intended that way, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was still good.
Very tongue in cheek and.
Yeah.
I think that was the
Timmers
whole
here
idea.
with another model making question. What white paint would you recommend for the white wings and panels on an F1 model? I find white either looks toy-like or too dull. I don't know.
you're gonna need a proper white, aren't you?
I mean, if you're doing an F1 model and you want it proper shiny, then you're going to need to worry about
Yeah.
proper shininess.
You want
That's-
a lacquer paint or enamel to get a good.
Yeah, I
white.
would say look at if you're doing an F1 car, look at Zero paints.
Mm.
They're probably the best.
Talk to I can't remember who was it who did the done that I just showed in the group.
It was Ray.
The real key with white though is a white primer and build layers up because
Yeah.
white, no matter what paint you use, white is a pig.
Yeah, my favourite white of all is this one. Vijay Vallejo Varela Insignia white.
All right, yeah.
It's a slightly milky white, so it's not a proper clean, crisp, super white. But again, you don't want to be going necessarily super white with most stuff other than F1 cars, and it's really nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be able to get away with using that, but I'd test it on something first.
OD says it was a cartoon. He-Man and She-Ra were brother and sister, I think. They were cousins or something, or
Yeah.
it was something like that.
I know they were related somehow, weren't they?
Definitely related, yeah. Jamie says to Ross that it was the Pacific Theatre, the camouflage cover he wants to paint, but I don't know the specific 3 colours you need. Now, I'd never worry about exact colour matches and things like that, because you're never going to get it to look, just get ones that look close enough to you and do it. Unless you're doing it as a, museum piece or something like that, it doesn't matter.
And the other thing is, a lot of and people often forget this, a lot of the time there wasn't a single perfect colour. A lot of it was, right, what have we got that we can paint our stuff with, and they used...
Yeah, if you get 100 people together, all the uniforms are going to be slightly different shades through age and wear, even if they were manufactured exactly the same, which they weren't.
Yeah.
Stupidbot says, come on, everyone press that like button. 29 watching and only 5 likes. I know people are getting into this whole like and subscribe thing, and it affects YouTube's functioning as to how the video gets viewed and publicised and things. I think it needs more than 20 or 30 likes to make a difference to it. I think we're talking hundreds, which it's not going to get. So if you'd like to, by all means click the like button, but I won't worry if nobody does either. Just don't click the wrong one. Don't all click the dislike, because
Well, sorry, too late.
Sprulu says use black gloss primer underneath white. I don't think so. I don't think you'd ever get the white down over a black.
No,
You have to use so many different layers.
The gloss primers under metallics.
Yeah, they work really well, but I wouldn't have put it under a white. Jamie says put a light grey down before the white, or it may look pink. Fox has always said to use a white primer, but put like a couple of drops of red in it to make it slightly pinky, or another colour that's not going to interfere too much, just so you can see where you've primed over white and things like that. So
I would personally, if you're going to go with another colour, I'd say personally light grey, but I would always go with white under white.
Timber says, cheers all. I'll try a few tests. I would never have thought white could be a pain. Yeah, white, yellow and red are the 3
white is
trifecta of painting the backside colours. Ray says 0 paints is good and 2K. But if you're using proper lacquer paints and things, make sure you're ventilated properly.
Yes, and make sure you're not in a room that people are going to be going into for a while.
Quano Man's worried that Spid is secretly nibbling his desk because he seems to be very close to
He's
it.
not secretly nibbling it.
Yeah, well, he had his arm around it, so he's trying to sort of mask what he was doing.
It's rather delicious. I baked it just this morning.
Yeah.
What is it that you're working on down there, Spid? I can't quite make it out.
It is a pain in the arse little Timex of my mate's mum's. Horrible little ancient pin palette 0 joule monstrosity.
Ah.
Nice.
It is. It's probably all going to fall apart now.
Quite possibly, yeah. I wouldn't wave it around.
It's a fiddly little chuff, and I'm just trying to get it all aligned. And it's you'll know yourself with pin palettes. They're a pain in the backside because you everything tends to be under one train bridge. You've got the whole lot under one bridge, and
just do it. It's just
Yeah, you'd have that done in 10 minutes, wouldn't you?
So it was one among a pile that they gave me last time I was down, saying, "Oh, can you look at this?" And I kind of left that one, and I thought, "Oh, I might as well just have a dig into it and see." It's one that apparently her mother bought it back when she was like 16 or 17 or something. So we'll see if I can get it running for her. But it's one of the old throwaway Timexes, the ones that they weren't intended to be serviced. You know, they've got their hardened pivots with no jewels or anything.
Why is nobody shouting at Paul for painting out of the pot and not using a dad's device? I get in trouble for even looking at a paint
It's
honey.
not important Sundays. He can get away with it.
It's, I don't know. I'm just hurt that I get in trouble for it, and he doesn't.
It's because Fox doesn't pay any attention to me.
What thin your paints, man?
No.
Where's your wet palette?
Here, look.
That's a dry palette. Put some
Yes.
water on it. That's better. Now it's a wet palette. That's good.
I'd just like to point out that wasn't just tap water. That was actually a glass of sparkling water.
His dad's noticed now. He's getting upset. He says Paul's a rebel. We all know that.
Look that up.
Paul
Does
doesn't
the
learn.
sparkling
Yeah.
water give you a particular effect?
Yeah, it gives you it makes the water effects in resin stuff look a lot nicer.
Cool.
That's actually
What's
Yeah,
that
sparkling
greeny one
one.
down closest to? That's not Citadel paint.
what that.
Yeah.
That's the lid off a bottle of
Oh, it's a little.
XT.
Where's
It's
the
actually the
brush
lid off a repurposed bottle of XT. It's a bottle of filthy X20 that I
Okay.
clean my brushes in
Ah.
because I needed something a bit more effective than water, but
Osric's
quite
worried that
dangerous
Paul will
as-
just ban people if we have a go at him.
like,
This is quite possible. Yeah.
yeah, look, ooh, spillage, woo, woo, woo. No, nothing.
Gemma
I'm not
says
gonna
she's
do it
never
with-
seen Paul spill any
A
yet.
bit with that.
I don't spill things.
To be fair, you wouldn't know if I'd spilt anything because you can't bloody see anything other than mess on this thing anyway.
Yeah, this is also true.
And just for reference, that yellow flower there, that was a request from George Gabriel, who was claiming I was sharing old photos. He said, right, prove this is new. I want to see it with a yellow flower in the picture.
I
So
didn't mean to ask about that. I noticed that when I came in the stream. But,
yes, I drew a yellow flower on my palette.
very good. Very artistic.
Yeah, I quite like sort of torturing people by using my cutting mat as a palette. It's fun.
Yeah, but then you lean on it.
Yeah, and then I get paint on my elbow. And, I do occasionally, if I'm doing something, I'll use a little
An actual palette.
ish. Yeah. The nice thing is I've put a coat of PVA on the bottom of that so I can peel it off.
I've just realised that I had perfect opportunity, but I didn't use it because when you were putting paint on, all we knew that all you really had to do was
Slap it on.
Yes.
see, but I missed it.
Yeah.
Now you've got the painting handles there, haven't you?
Yes.
How many have you got?
I've got several.
You got 3. Have you got another one?
I've got more than. No, hang on.
Because I'd just be quite interested in if you've got.
Folk handles.
Here you go. It's
They're
4
not
there.
candles, are they? They're holders.
4 handles. Yeah.
4 handles.
There you go. It's 4 of them. But I do have 5, 6. The answer is I have 7.
And you just bought some more, or is that including
That
the ones you just
included
bought?
the ones I just bought. Yeah, I wanted like 3 more because that way I can have like several parts of a set on the go at once easily. And the Games Workshop website basically only had the red ones or a pack of 5 for 25 quid. Or 20 quid, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, no, 25. And it worked out at £6.50 each. It was better value to just suck it up and buy a pack of 5.
Eric says Chris has a Des device but doesn't use it. I do so use it. I do. Handles for forks, says Brugler.
It's not quite dry yet. That one is. But I can't bother doing anything more with that.
That was the worst segue into using one of your buttons ever, Chris, says Steve. It was quite bad, but it's not even a button on this. Buttons don't work with this StreamYard software, so I've actually got to go through a menu, and then I can go and press the button that says things like Alfish. But you know,
I do like the fox skullfish sound effects. They are good fun.
yeah, I keep meaning to import another one into it, but
Was there another one? Was there more?
I think, well, you've got the long one, and then there's obviously that one, and then let's see what I've got. I've got down here that one. I'll do this one. I don't know if it's that one. Let's try that one. I'll import another one now. And we'll see what it says.
Ooh, exciting.
Because at the moment there's and
Skullfish.
and now I've just imported.
Skullfish.
I like that one.
I don't know why he's got the Swedish one. I'm not too sure about that at all. But yeah, for my Sunday evening stream, I've got it set to a button that randomly does one. So
Yeah.
I press it a few times and it will put in different ones. Yeah. Skullfish says, I'm free. Jamie says, we need to hear them all.
Yeah.
Spur and Glue says, is my chat visible? Yeah. Where did you... Well, yeah, I just...
Yeah, if we
Spur and
missed
Glue said
something,
that.
say it again. And
Spur and Glue said, said to Paul, stop buying Bane Blades, you need a new mat.
No, I don't. This mat's lovely.
I reckon there's a bass
I'm not
guitar.
purposely ignoring anyone. It just happens that way sometimes.
There's a bass guitar player that's my mate is a huge fan of, and he deliberately he was given a guitar by Yamaha, which he very deliberately went to town on modifying so that it was like his old guitar that he just played so much that he'd worn down. And he'd actually worn grooves in the fretboard high up on the neck because he'd played it so much. So he got this brand new guitar from Yamaha, which he had to play because he was promoting Yamaha when they were doing the live gigs and stuff. So he took a Dremel to the fretboard and Dremeled out grooves in the fretboard, and he sanded the back down, and he carved a bit of one of the pickups away where his thumb sat, where again he'd worn a groove over years of playing.
Yeah, I
Did
suppose
all
if
this-
your hand feels it needs to be in a groove like that to be comfortable, yeah,
But
it makes
it was just this is how he'd worn it all the way, so he was comfortable with it. So he got this new one, and it just didn't feel right. So he basically took a Dremel to this new one and did all this, and then he was like, "Yeah, that's great." So then Yamaha sort of went, "Do you know what? We'll take what you've done, and we'll actually make a signature line guitar based on that." Well, I reckon, which they did, but I reckon if somebody bought Paul the new mat, he would be so distraught that he would have to replicate the stains from his old
Yeah, I
one.
think you're right. I think
Thing
it
is,
would be quite.
just here, just if I move that, there's another mat there, but it's clean.
Ooh,
Yeah, but
but
it's
it's not
not.
the-
It's not yours. It's.
No. It's Terry's. No, that was chocolate orange.
Is it clean or should it be blue?
No, it is clean. It's the mat for when I'm doing anything really big, like when I'm working on bigger buildings and stuff for the HO scale things. Clear all the crap out of the way. But yeah, this one's my beloved filthy mat. It
We
would
did notice, yeah.
it would just get filthy again.
And we
if
can
I
also
put a new
tell
one
that you're
down.
left-handed as well because it's in,
have you ever considered spilling a pot of Tamiya extra thin on it just to give a bit of a...
You say considered. Actually have. Quite some time ago I did spill.
It's still not,
which is
because
why-
that really removes all the squares and everything.
Yeah.
I've destroyed a cutting mat that way.
You should accidentally spill some IPA on it. That'd clean it all off and leave the lines.
Yeah, I have. I say accident. I have deliberately spilt IPA on it before to clean it, but
It didn't.
not for quite a while.
Phil says
not
it's the
bothered.
secret hidden clean mat of shame.
Yeah. I'm ashamed to have a clean mat of any kind. Must
Right.
say, Word Bearer's Red. Brilliant colour. I love it.
What was the colour?
Word Bearer's Red.
Okay.
nice-
It looks brown to me. But
Yeah, it's a sort of browny red kind of. Hang on down a bit.
it's
a
like,
bit more.
what was it? The Tamiya
bit.
colour would be hull red.
Yeah, it's actually somewhere sort of a bit browner than whole red, and I
I
really
quite
like it for capes.
I don't know where
I've not
people
got
get the
many
idea that I spill
spots.
things. I've never spilled any paint ever.
Me
Never.
neither.
Well, I think it's just most of us tend to wipe it up.
Yeah.
Other than just go, just smear it about a bit, it'll be fine.
No, it doesn't happen. Right, we're quarter past, so there's only a quarter of an hour to go. But if we're finished, we're finished. That'll do, really. Unless you've got any sort of last orders, anyone in the chat got anything else you want to mention, bring to the light, talk about? You know, it's.
Have we? Do we think we've got a winner on the worst best film? Best worst film?
Hang about, sorry, very, very dark, says Spruglo. I'm not sure what that's for. Sorry,
I
sorry,
think,
Speed, I missed what you said.
I said, have we got an overall winner for the worst best film, do we think? Because I think Superman 4 has got to be a strong contender, personally.
Well, I mean, each to their own, shall we say? That's the
lazy democratic way of answering, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would possibly lean towards Masters of the Universe
yeah.
because
It is really bad, but I don't know, because the cartoon itself's really bad and cheesy as well, isn't it?
well, yeah, but that's all right because it's the cartoon.
I don't know.
No.
I'm still thinking Superman 4 personally, because
Osric says Biggles.
no, it's got
And Steve's coming, totally scale model. So evening, you're late, but evening.
it's got redeeming features, Biggles.
The same.
General says, Chris, you've admitted loads how bad your memory is. I don't remember doing that. He's getting old. I'm getting old. I've been old for a little while, so no.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Appropriate drink there, Chris, says Phil. I didn't even notice, but yes, bedtime soon, says Steve. Yeah, getting that sort of way.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, if you haven't noticed already, I put a video up yesterday, starting a mini competition because I'm approaching 3,000 subscribers on the YouTubes.
3,000 lunatics.
Get in and vote and say what time and date you think I'm going to achieve that milestone. Don't comment on this video. You can, but it won't count. I'm not going to look here. Comment on the other video that I put up with the 3,000 subscribers giveaway thing. So go and check that. And yeah, put time and date that you think I will achieve enlightenment. And let's say 3,000 subscribers. So go check that out. Other than that, it's Thursday now, isn't it? So
I think so.
couple of days off, and then Sunday back to the Warhamster. As far as I know, Fox is doing his stream just before mine at 3:00, and Colin will be doing his Sunday brunch at 12:30. Sounds right. I think 12:30 to 2:30 he does that. Then Fox is on at 3. Then I'm on at 8. So you can have almost an entire day of just watching us lot.
And as always, Fox finishes at 6 on a Sunday.
Yep.
And he's not here to defend himself against that slur. Awesome.
Then Monday, Z Models. Same as normal, everything going on Monday. So yeah. Monday, Ted might be doing a secret live broadcast during the day as well, during the afternoon. So keep an eye on media and stuff for that.
I see. Would that be for collecting certain new projects?
There might be some collecting of a fairly large box at some point. So yes. Steve
wonder
says
what that'll be.
he's doing the Saturday Night Crash on Saturday evening at 8 p.m. So yeah, is that on yours or is that on James or where's that going to be? So we know. Jamie says it's only 3 days till my birthday. What's that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Is that Sunday then? Is it? If that's Sunday, I'm not going to sing to you because I got in trouble last time I sang "Happy Birthday" to somebody on a stream. They
And
didn't
if
like
it's Sunday, you'll be able to sing to him on Sunday. There you go. So in that case, if it's Sunday, that means you've got to bring birthday cake for everybody on Sunday.
You got to bring cake in. Yeah, that sounds about right. And how many candles would you have to put on top of it?
Folk handles.
That was a better segue. You got to give me that. Come on, that was
Definitely
that
less
works. That works. That does. Yeah.
That wasn't as bad. Wasn't as bad.
Only if you're 4, but it works. And yeah, happy birthday, Jamie. It's on Sunday, so yeah, happy birthday for Sunday, Jamie.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday for Sunday.
Steve says, I think it might be on James's channel. We'll put up links on our Facebook pages, so keep an eye on Totally Scale Models and the Model Officers Mess and Carl's Making Models in there.
All are good.
That's the 3 of them. So yeah, they'll be there Saturday evening. Has everyone hit the like button, says Phil? No, I don't think they have. But
Of course not. I haven't.
it's fine. It will be more than 4 candles, says Jamie.
Trending now, Chris.
Candles for cakes.
But given that I'm on this, I'm definitely not clicking like.
No, I didn't click like either. I don't think I can. I don't know.
I didn't, but then I'm on the stream, not on YouTube.
Yeah, you don't have to. Yeah, I'm
I just don't like
completely
it. So
ambivalent about people clicking the like button. If you want to,
completely
that's
what?
lovely, but you know it doesn't.
Did
Really
you say
matter.
ambivalent? Did you just make a word up?
Yep.
Fair play.
I like to make words up. It's superfluous.
Perfect.
to
Cromulent.
satisfaction.
Chris, superfluous is a real word already.
If you let us, you will put one up in Boom Hut. Absolutely, yeah. That's what the Boom Hut's for. Pimp
Can I ban him?
your stuff every day. Yeah, go for it. Fox won't mind. It'll be fine.
Got for a notice.
He probably won't. Well, if you do it in the morning, he'll be asleep, so he won't notice. It'll be fine. Yes,
Just put a link up, but then at the same time put another post up with like a Sunday roast or something. He'll never even notice because he'll be too busy drooling over the Sunday roast.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be superfluent.
Ooh,
says Phil.
speaking of which,
Indeed.
I've got some friends visiting at the end of the month. I've got me a friend and his family coming up to see me for a week, so I shall be getting them to bring up Henderson's.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't actually checked to see how easy it is to get it delivered.
It's probably easy, but I can't imagine it's cheap unless you have about 10 gallons delivered at a time, maybe.
I'll have to check. Henderson's.yor because they've got its own web domain.
Yes. Well, that's it. It's so good. Yorkshire's so good. It's Henderson's.chef.
I've got to think. Last time I was in Sheffield, I did buy several bottles, so I'm okay for a little while.
I was bloody gutted. I mean, it was my own stupid fault. I left it right until the morning of the last day when I was coming home. And I went round to the Sainsbury's, which is just round the corner from my mates. And they've usually got 2 shelves just stacked front to back. Like the top one's all the cases. And the shelf underneath is like 10 bottles wide and goes back about 15 bottles. So they've usually got loads and loads, and they didn't have a single bottle. Not one.
I have finished mine. I emptied the bottle and threw it away. I've opened a bottle of Worcester sauce. You know,
that's no good.
Is that the big Sainsbury's on Archer Road, or is it a different
No, it's in Crystal Peaks.
one? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a fairly sizable Sainsbury's, but like I said, the shelves usually jam packed. And I said I kind of left it thinking, I'll stop on the way out. So I sort of dashed in. It was like, shit, there's no Henderson's. Even gone to check in the back, and there was not a single bottle. Disgraceful.
Steve says, I believe they sell Henderson's in Waitrose.
Ooh, posh.
Sounds a bit upmarket.
That makes Henderson's posh. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
Henderson's is upmarket, I'll have you know. It's an upmarket condiment.
Yeah. I remember when I went. 'Cause I think
better
it
than
was
see
yeah the big one.
sauce.
Yeah, I think I went to the big one on Archer Road and went to the condiments bit where the ketchup and everything is, and there was like one bottle. It's like
Really?
this is not acceptable because I
Oh,
needed a
that's
bottle for myself. I needed a bottle for as a housewarming gift for the friends we were visiting, and I needed spares. And I was
Yeah.
talking to the woman on the till, and she said, "Oh yeah, there'll be some. There should be a load over in the over by the cold cabinets for the meat." Like, oh,
Really?
okay.
That's
And
unusual.
yeah, they had a whole display full of them there. It was quite a relief.
Mm. That's quite good to know, but yeah, highly unusual. But because they're usually just on shelves. But like I said, I mean, that Sainsbury's, I said they've normally got the main shelf, like I say, is about 10 wide and about 15 deep, and then above that they've usually got 3 or 4 boxes that are open as well.
Yeah.
So because they do sell a lot, so and quite rightly so.
Yeah.
But given that they sell a lot, you would think that they'd actually order some when they're running out. The morons. So
Well, maybe they had a run on it that day.
maybe there was loads of people leaving Sheffield that morning, and they all got there before me.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to wrap up then, guys. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of you for the backstage bit while I finish off. So thank you, Speed. See you another time.
Goodbye, folks. Bye.
Bye.
And Paul, team Inept, glued to the sprue.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your movie knowledge.
That's all right.
I'll see you later.
Miss you already.
And me, I'm here as well. So thank you all for watching. I say the show is nothing without you lot. So thanks for popping into the chat and keeping us company, keeping us talking about things. I shall see you in a couple of days. Sunday, I say 8 p.m. I'll be back on this channel, just there doing these tiny little plane things again. That are the ongoing Warhamster project. So I'll see you for that then, and onwards throughout the week for more stuff and mayhem and silliness and shenanigans. So thank you very much. I shall click on the button to make the final music-y title things happen, and then I shall go. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Good night.